I think if you get to find something in your lifetime that you're passionate about and you love, and that happens to be one of the things where your potential is high, then you're blessed and you're very, very fortunate. Prior to doing martial arts, I was 23. I was powerlifting, and I herniated 2 discs in my back powerlifting. And I bumped into a guy who I went to high school with who was also really involved in powerlifting. And I seen him, and he cut down and trimmed down and looked great. And I was like, hey dude, you know, what have you been doing? You look awesome. And he said he started doing jiu-jitsu. Sure enough, I looked, there was a place down the street from my house.
So if I'm on my right shoulder, I'm gonna tuck my neck and get to my left shoulder. And then I'm gonna land the same way that I started.
Within the first day, I walked over to him and I said, hey, you know, how many private sessions can I get for $5,000? And he looked at me and thought I was crazy. And he just said, dude, don't worry about it. Just come back tomorrow. I walked in tomorrow an hour before class. I brought in $5,000 and I said, seriously, how many sessions can I get with $5,000?
When we get to the top of the mat, let's split the 2 lines. On 1, you're 2. Right over here, forward rolls.
That day I started doing private sessions maybe about 3 to 4 days a week, and was training, you know, 5, 6 days a week, you know, in addition to that in regular classes. I was amazed that somebody could be so offensive off their back. You know, I mean, I just never thought that.
Holding like this. One more time to the opposite side.
I think it's important to always have the type of jiu-jitsu where you really want to be able to control your opponent. That's what, to me, jiu-jitsu is about. It's be able to dominate position and control your opponent. And your technique needs to be so strong. I'd rather my students have the technique where the person knows that you're going for an armbar. They know with the submission attempt that you're doing. It's just they can't stop it because your control and your technique is so dominant and so much better.
Good. As soon as he gets this underhook, I need to make an adjustment. He wants to throw my body up this way to get to my leg. This hand is going to come all the way by his hip, right? So this hand is just by his hip. My other hand is by his shoulder, okay? This brings my weight. Instead of me coming this way, I'm keeping my weight on him.
You know, I'm proud to be a black belt underneath him, and he's taught me a lot on and off the mat, and I'm grateful to call him an instructor and a friend. It's not. There's 2 different Kurts. I love them both. I only love rolling with one of them. You have Kurt, who's in the gym coaching, and he'll flow and he'll move around, and you know, he'll have fun with it. And then you have what I call competition Kurt. For Kurt getting ready for a competition, he's a different animal.
For the people who have been doing this, if when you're rolling live, that's when you take the chance to use the eject button. Good.
If aliens came to this world and invaded the world, and even if the aliens had 8 arms, and it was to grapple for to dominate our planet, the only person that you could call on is Marcelo Garcia.
Right? So I did a high step over where my foot's by his hip, and now from here, look, I could stay here, unslip his head, lean over, start working my armbar.
I've traveled to a lot of different places, and Vietnam as a country has been awesome. I've loved it and I've enjoyed it. But training over here and meeting you and your team has been an absolute highlight of the trip. You have a great group of people, which I think is an extension of you. You know, you're a great instructor, high-level jiu-jitsu guy, and to be able to make a relationship with you and your team over the past week has been really, really special. Vietnam as a country has been awesome. It's a really, Saigon's been a cool city. It's crazy busy. It's crazy busy. It was cool to get to Dalat for a little while and Phu Quoc, and I traveled a lot while I was here in a short period of time. My pleasure. Thank you, man.
I call it elbow rock. He's getting the excuses. I have the excuses of the motherboard. You're gonna get it, Logan. Thanks, guys. Make sure
Yeah, we're both from New York. His parents are from Bensonhurst, from my mom's neighborhood.
Yeah, he showed a sweep from some side control, like a side control escape. I've been doing that a lot since.
We trailed I believe the mount to armor, and he explained it to the very detail. Yeah, I miss him, right? Who doesn't want a black belt like rolling around? Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Steve was super generous and super, you know, open to sharing techniques with us and rolling with us, and it was just nice to get some rounds with a guy at his level.
So it's 8 months. Primarily, we've exclusively been training no-gi. Maybe a bit advanced for me, but he like broke it down in a simple way.
You know, he's a big athletic guy, but it doesn't take an athletic guy to do the techniques that he was showing, I think.